You both of my outlines.
Do you need one to speak from?
I want to speak one, but I don't know.
Oh, I see. Whether or not the other person, somebody got it. Did somebody get an outline from Francisco to do their refutation on? No. Who needs an outline to do their refutation on? She's closer. All right.
All right, guys. How many of you have remember back in the early childhoods when you're watching TV shows like Bugs Bunny and all of them, when you know how like nowadays Bugs Bunny kind of has his like trademark carrot? Well, back in the day, it used to be a cigar that he was flinging around in his hand and stuff and chewing on. This is a perfect example of how alcohol and cigarette companies have targeted their ads to minors in our society, and this is detrimental because this leads to addiction later in life. The negative effects of alcohol and tobacco on children is marginally stronger than on regular-sized adults, and this is exponentially more harmful to minors in long-term and short-term. According to a National Cancer Institute study, the average age when people first started smoking has lowered in the recent years. So kids starting to smoke more in the 12 to 17 age group than in the 18 to 25 age group. And according to the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, kids who drink before 15 are 4 times more likely to develop alcohol dependence. This is like very notable. This should be noted because of the already like it's kind of a way for alcohol and cigarette companies to keep their revenue stream coming. They just get everyone addicted to alcohol and cigarettes. Okay. The negative effects are stronger on children than they are normally on adults, just because of like their size, their lungs, and their liver haven't fully developed yet. And when they start smoking and drinking at an earlier age, it takes a toll a lot faster, and the dangerous levels, like the longer diseases have a shorter onset time. And thirdly, how I said it was exponentially more harmful to minors. According to the CDC, statistics from 1995 say that 23% of all teen deaths were caused by alcohol-related accidents or causes. Sorry. And you all know how like cigarettes and tobacco eventually they have long-term effects, but you all know how those affect people. So, in conclusion, although the cigarette companies, as many of you guys have or have not known, back in I think a few decades ago, was it like the 90s? I'm not completely sure on the date, but they were reprimanded for advertising and making products that were specifically targeted to the younger adults. But the alcohol industry still has not been reprimanded, and they continue to do this. And with shows like Jersey Shore, I feel like it might be going on for quite a while.
All right, well, I'm still trying to figure out what cartoon you were watching where Bugs Bunny was smoking a cigar. I think maybe there was an episode or an incident where he smoked a cigar and it blew up in his face, or he was lighting one for Yosemite Sam, but I don't think that the carrot replaced the cigar because the tobacco companies were under attack. That seems like a sort of a strange visualization. I'm not sure what your claim is. You've got two topics you're talking about, alcohol and tobacco. Having them in the same proposition is a little confusing, and it sounds like you're making an argument about marketing to kids, but I don't have any examples of marketing to kids except the reference to the Bugs Bunny cartoon, and then right at the end there's some discussion of Jersey Shore, which I'm not exactly sure qualifies as a marketing tool. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Having never seen an episode and hoping to keep that record intact, I have no idea. But if it's sponsored by Budweiser and all the kids are drinking Budweisers during the show, and Budweiser places products in the show, and pays to do so, then maybe you've got an example here. But I don't have any data that suggests that. You make a vague reference to the agreement that the tobacco companies signed back in the 90s to discontinue advertising or restrict their marketing and change their practices. And you probably have a legitimate point here in saying that the alcohol companies have not done the same thing or have not been reprimanded that way, although I think there probably were some agreements along those lines. I haven't seen Spuds McKenzie for 15 years, so I think that there is perhaps some kind of standard that's going on there. But you don't even seem to know. You have a vague recollection of when the agreement was and who it covered, so I think that's problematic. I just don't know what the argument here is. It sounds like it's a review of some issues related to alcohol and tobacco use. Is the argument that the companies are still marketing to kids? Then let's make that argument. Let's have some examples, show us how they intentionally do this, and show us how it's having an effect. The closest we get to anything that talks about the effect that it's had is you've got some data that says initial teen smoking is at a younger and younger age. You've got an argument about teen drinking, but it basically says that kids who drink earlier have longer-term problems. It doesn't say that kids are drinking earlier and earlier. That's not what the evidence that you presented says. You sound sort of like you're wandering through the topic. You need a clearer focus, a stronger organization, and your source citations need to be a lot clearer. I heard one statistical reference to the number of deaths that account for teen deaths being related to alcohol. And I thought, okay, that's pretty solid. And it's from 1995, so we've got a 16-year-old piece of data here that you're using to make inferences about what's going on now, and I think that's problematic. All right, thank you.